Warnings have expired across middle Georgia after yesterday we experienced some severe weather with heavy rain to down trees and power lines. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday, February 7th. You're watching WGXA Morning News on Fox 24. I'm Victoria DeCardenas.
And I'm Terrell Bailey. Now, yesterday, stormy weather packed a punch for middle Georgia. Crews working throughout the day to restore power, removing tree lines, and repairing those traffic lights that went out.
And Chief Meteorologist Jeff Cox yesterday said the strongest wind gusts reported in middle Georgia were at 46 miles per hour in Butler and Taylor counties.
And the highest rain total in middle Georgia was over 4 inches happening in Peach County. Of course, WGXA, we're going to continue to keep you guys updated on the weather that we experienced throughout this newscast.
And of course, we're keeping an eye on several flooding reports this morning. This was a scene in Monroe County all along Harper Road. We were live for this yesterday. You could see that the flash flooding submerged that road underneath the water. Took about 2 hours for that water to recede. Also in Monroe County, water rushing down a dam.
High Falls State Park officials posting on Facebook, letting people know that the water was at exceptionally high levels yesterday. At one point, the alarms actually went off, signaling that the water went over at least 3 feet of that dam. And some sites, we're told, were also evacuated.
And you can tell this morning, if you haven't stepped outside, it's a very different story. It's much colder than it was yesterday when we woke up, and not as much rain to track as well.
That's exactly right. Let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Gary Thigpen. He's going to bring us all the latest as we take on our Friday. So good morning, Gary. What can you tell us?
Well, good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Terrell. Well, the weather's improving today. Colder weather coming in, but wow, what a day. Yesterday, as you just said, winds gusting as high as 46 miles per hour in Butler, 44 here in Macon. So most of us here in middle Georgia had winds from 35 to 46 miles per hour yesterday. So that's quite a gust. And of course, that's the reason for the trees coming down and some of the power lines around the area. Rainfall, yeah, that was another issue. Most of us ended up with around 3.5 to 4.5 inches of rain, and that's going to fill up those rivers. We have many rivers across middle Georgia that will be going into flood stage. So you can see them all here painted green. Everywhere you see a green mark on this board, that is a river that will be going over the banks and is having a flood warning issued on that at the present time. Looking at our radar right now, we see just a few showers down toward Warner Robins. When you get about Macon north, it looks like all the rain is gone. We've got a little bit of rain to the southern part of our viewing area. That's moving out of here, and I think by later this morning, especially in the lunchtime, all of the rain will be gone, and then the clouds should be clearing out as well. Right now in Macon, it's 43 degrees, and you can already see a few breaks in the clouds coming our way.
And here's a look at a video that I took yesterday of my commute. Lots of rain was coming down just north of the city of Monticello. If you were out and about in yesterday's storms, you know how difficult it was to drive around. Luckily, everyone did make it home safely.
And continuing our coverage of those severe weather storms happening here in middle Georgia, some schools, they're expected to be closed today. Schools are going to be closed for students in Jasper, Johnson, Lamar, Lawrence, Pike, Wheeler, and Upson counties. Now, as always, to see a full list of the schools that are not going to be open this Friday, be sure to head to our website, WGXA.tv.
This morning, we continue our coverage of the storms that ripped through our area yesterday. And because of those storms, we know a tree collapsed at the Peekaboo Daycare Supply Center in Macon.
That's exactly right, Victoria. WGXA's Amaris Jenkins joins us live from that location. So good morning, Amaris. Tell our viewers exactly what you're seeing there.
Good morning, Victoria and Terrell. Now, when it first happened yesterday, we brought you those photos of the scene here, but I can tell you this morning, I've since made my way out here, and that tree is still resting on top of the building here behind me. But the good news is no injuries were reported, as this is the supply center of the daycare. The actual daycare and learning center is located across the street. Now, I'm going to step behind the camera because I want you to see that there's not just damage done to the actual roof here. There's actually some damage to the front porch area here as well. I'm going to zoom in for you. You can see debris is completely covering that front porch and that front door area where people could once walk in to this building. Now, when our crews arrived here to the scene yesterday, here's the scene they saw. We have some video of the significant damage that was done yesterday, and officials say that Georgia Power crews had to actually come out to the scene here, and we're actually located on The daycare center is located on the corner of Fairfax Drive here in South Macon. And again, those Georgia Power crews had to work diligently to get those power lines back up. And as of this morning, the lights are on here. I'm seeing some people coming out of their homes. So power is looking like it's restored in the area. But as for the damage here done to the supply center, we're not exactly sure when restoration is going to happen with that. But Bibb County deputies were on the scene here yesterday, helping keep the area secure. And again, they are thankful to report that no one was injured. But as we get those updates, we'll be sure to keep you updated here and online on our website, WGXA.tv. But for now, I'm Amaris Jenkins reporting live in South Macon for WGXA News.
All right, thank you, Amaris, and we'll continue to check in with you throughout the morning as we learn more about those damages.
That's right. Moving along to your statewide headlines. Savannah police are looking for clues in the deaths of 2 people found shot inside of a car where a 3-month-old baby was discovered alive and unharmed. Local news outlets are reporting the baby has been returned to its parents. The gunshot victims were ages 22 and 25. They were found at a Savannah intersection late Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, city leaders and police gathered at the city's police headquarters to ask the public for help in solving that crime.
And here's some of the other stories that we're following for you this morning. A day after he was acquitted on his impeachment charges, President Trump took every opportunity yesterday to talk on the Senate's decision and take aim at his enemies that tried to remove him from office.
And as the coronavirus continues to spread all around the world, leaving thousands of people quarantined as they are screened for that virus, some of those people are asking President Donald Trump for some help.
But first, Iowa is saying that it's 100% of its results from the caucus are finally in.
Iowa, you have shocked the nation.
It took the whole week, but results are finally tallied up in Iowa with a winner being named, but just barely. After a technological nightmare, the Iowa Democratic Party is saying that former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg beat out longtime Senator Bernie Sanders for that top spot. And in New Hampshire, where the Democratic candidates moved on to since the results were taking so long to get in, Bernie Sanders took part in a town hall where he didn't give up hope that Iowa would go down as a total loss.
I suspect that at the end of the day, Mr. Buttigieg and I will have an equal number of delegates to the national convention.